Hello, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, yeah, I'm doing all right, thank you. I am.
Good, good. I just want to really quickly address for anyone that watches this on YouTube, my different background is my daughter's bedroom. We're having building works done, and I can't find anywhere else in the house to hide. There isn't
It's
drilling
all
or
good.
banging, so I do apologise in advance if there's any slight background noise. And for my unicorn rainbow bedspread
I
behind me,
love
so I
it.
just thought I'd throw that one in. But clearly, nothing is going to stop me recording the podcast, right?
No,
No excuse,
absolutely not.
no excuses here. So I will sit on the floor in the bedroom and
Yes.
make it work. So I know we wanted to discuss something today that came up in our Monday mindset calls that we have obviously every Monday morning when we master our mindset. And it was in the part where we kind of go through our awareness, isn't it? And I know this came up for you, Charlotte, because you just said you're doing okay. And obviously you've been through some and are going through some challenges at the moment. But something really came up for you that really landed with a lot of our members, our ladies that were on the
Mm.
call, and really resonated. I know it absolutely resonated with me as well. And we thought, what better thing to talk about on the podcast today? So
Yeah,
I thought we'd just kick off with that. If you wouldn't mind sharing what it was that came up for you this morning, and then we'll
yeah,
just take it from there.
absolutely. Well, part of that call is, like you say, is just reflecting on the past week and just ask ourselves, what have we noticed? Like,
Mm.
and that is creating, I think when we've not tapped into much self-awareness and we maybe are operating on autopilot. I know I felt like this in the beginning. It's quite hard to figure that out. You're like, what?
What?
What do you mean?
Yes.
What have I noticed? But with time and with practice, we can really look back on the week and kind of think, yeah, what has come up for me this week that maybe whether it worked well or whether it didn't work so well. And over the weekend, I I've stepped into trying, like you say, I've had a few challenges recently, and it's included, a few losses and the house right now, and part of myself feels quite empty. And I think this weekend I stepped into trying to fill that void, and I didn't quite do it in the right way. I got a little pushy and I let well, not just let, my emotions got the better of me, and it was to be expected. I think it's been a lot these past few weeks. And so I want to kind of share this thought that we can have a vision of where we want to go in life, and we can have an idea of it, and we can really dream and, believe and step into all of that. But what I'm also seeing is that we need this balance, and we need to be grateful and appreciate what we have right now, because we can't get over here if we've not appreciated where we currently are. And I think what I was trying to do was almost run away from my right now because it feels empty and it feels like there is quite a lot of emotion maybe to deal with. And I was trying to get here quicker. And
Mm.
life doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, and I think that was my real realization this week, is I thought I was doing okay, and I was doing okay. And don't get me wrong, with this, we can have a good day and then we can have a bad day, and we can have a good day and we can have another bad day. And it's all about how we ride those good and bad days. And I thought I was kind of just riding them well. I was doing all the things, but then, my emotions were high this weekend. I felt it a lot. But what I slipped into was that pushing
Mm,
for things to be different rather than feel those harder feelings in that time.
yeah. So there's a couple of things there, isn't there? First of all, I think it's really important to acknowledge when we do go through life's challenges, that it's that feeling the emotions is part of it. It's part of the
Mm,
journey. It's
yeah.
not to be how quickly can I not feel?
Yeah.
How quickly can I be rid of this? It's to honor those emotions, isn't it? And it makes us who we are when we go through these challenges and we have these adversities. And it's just then what is the choice that we do with it then? So it's like, the surfer, surfing the
Yes.
waves.
Yeah.
And in the, when you're first kind of mastering your personal growth and your mindset and how to best look after yourself and best parent yourself. It's like that beginner surfer. They'll get knocked off quite a lot of times,
Yeah.
but it's our ability to get back on that surfboard, isn't it? And then
Mm-hmm.
as better and better you get back on that surfboard a little bit quicker. But sometimes, even being the best surfer, there'll be some frigging big waves, right?
Yeah.
Some massive
Yes.
waves, and
Yeah.
you'll get knocked off and you'll be underwater for some time. You
Mm-hmm.
eventually get back on, but it might come as a bit of a surprise. It might be quite a big wave. And I think this is really important, isn't it, to acknowledge, and we say this a lot, no rose tinted glasses here. And you've said something recently as well, Charlotte, that really, really kind of landed was, and I really hope I get this the right way around. Life doesn't get easier, but
Mm-hmm.
we get stronger.
Yeah.
And that's our resilience building, isn't it? That's our resilience building. So I think it's just important to remember that, to feel the emotions, like the wave
Mm-hmm.
of the ocean, they come and go.
Yeah.
It too shall pass. And then what I'm hearing is, like you mentioned, this balance between having this beautiful, compelling, exciting vision of the future. You know, what is it that you want to create? What is this life
Yeah.
that you want to design for yourself, and the actions we take to go after it? But it's not falling into this trap of then waiting until you have those things, or really the feelings that those things will bring, because it's never the
Yeah.
actual things, it's the feelings. The trap of waiting until to be happy or to
Mm-hmm.
be the person you want to be. It's really kind of going internally and making sure that, yes, we have this compelling vision because it's exciting, it gets us going,
Yeah.
but to also feel those feelings that we want to feel when we've got the things or doing the
Mm.
achievements, to feel it now.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is that is within our control, because I know I have fallen into this trap some time ago of just like, well, I'll be happy when. And it could look
Mm.
like anything: when I've got the promotion, when I've got the car, when I've got the bigger house, when I've got the kids, when I've got the partner, when I'm more confident. You know, we put this when I, or
Mm.
when it, and it's like delaying what we can give to ourselves right now. And that does take practice, doesn't it? First
Yeah.
of all, it takes the awareness of it, which is something that,
Yeah.
we build together in the membership. But, it's then the acknowledgement of it. And it's like, well, how can I come back to now? How can I come back to the present moment
Yeah.
and see all that I am and all that I do have? And what are those feelings that I really do want? And how can I create them for myself today, whilst also still working towards this wonderful future I
Yeah.
want to create for myself?
Yeah. And we had this conversation because I needed a conversation with you. You're my the cat is my coach who is always there to just go, let's just have a little look at
I
this.
love it because I can just be like, do you want to talk?
Yeah.
Just pick up. I'm like, do we need to unpack something
Yeah.
today? Like, yes, please.
Bring my case.
Yes, let's unpack it.
Um, but yeah, there was something that my husband said to me this weekend, and he was very true. It triggered me because I was like, and sometimes our triggers are our greatest things to actually have a look at and unpack, because they hold a lot of goodness and a lot of growth. It's not easy, but
No, they're
if we
messages,
choose to
aren't
have a look,
they?
yeah, if we have
They're
a
little
look at those
messages.
triggers,
Mm.
we can see a lot. And he said something to me that was, because I think the feeling that I'm craving right now is I want to be needed, and I want to look after something. Obviously, I've had our dogs that we've lost, one the other year after a really traumatic incident, and then another one just very, very recently, and then obviously going through the miscarriage as well. Like that, they were my things to look after.
Mm.
And what I'm trying to do in this void is get that something else to look after.
Mm.
My husband said to me, he's like, why is this right now not enough?
Mm.
It was something along those lines. It might not have been his exact words, but it hit me like a ton of bricks, because I've got two daughters who need me to look after them, and I've also got a husband who needs me. And why was I in those moments? Sometimes we can rush so far ahead that I just lost sight of that. And I could openly say right here, right now, I have not been the most present mum. Like, I really haven't. And that's been eating away at me, if I'm honest. When you have those times where you can feel yourself just, when I, in fact, rewind to like the first lockdown. Oh my
Okay.
goodness, I was doing all kinds of crafts. I was like doing all these things with the girls, and like I was doing it. I was enjoying it. We were, making something new. We were going here. Well, not we weren't going anywhere
Yes,
because
to
obviously it
say,
was locked down.
hopefully you weren't going anywhere because that was illegal.
We were making a lot of stuff. Well, not even a lot, but just just creating little playstations and just
Mm.
things like that. I just felt like I was being creative, and I just realized, like, at the moment, that's taking one hell of a lot of me. Like,
Oh, I feel like I can't I can't keep my mouth shut here. I've got to
this
jump
turned into a
in.
bit of a
I
coaching
know,
session.
yeah, and
More unpacking,
I
guys.
know, and I hope you're okay for me to do
Yeah.
this while we're on the call. But just for a moment, think, because I think some of our listeners might be thinking this, because I know I am.
Oh.
The reality of lockdown compared to the reality of now,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had to stay put and do nothing.
Yeah.
If you think about all the other
Very
plates that are
true.
spinning, you're running a business, TAGC. We have to do school runs, we have to do food shops, or we get to, I should say. So I feel like there's a little, sorry, I've just
Yeah.
literally just throwing this at you
No.
on a live podcast, but
Am I comparing to that old self?
yeah, I too was like, wow, look at all this time we have
Yeah.
together, or we can't go anywhere. It can just be us four. Yes, blimmin' hell, we were crafting left, right. We were doing all the wonderful family things, but that was not real life. Nobody
No.
worked. Nobody could leave the house.
And also the reality was back then, like you say, I was a stay-at-home mum.
Yeah.
I didn't have
You weren't running the
no.
self-development membership for women. Like, dude, go check.
Oh, there we
So,
go.
so
And
you know, so if you're
this,
wanting to live up to those expectations,
yeah,
you think maybe that it'd be worth just addressing the right what's I'm not saying don't craft with your kids. Of course there's time to do stuff, but the reality of what was compared to what is now, they've got to go to school. Like, they don't have
yeah,
all day to craft. You've got a business to run, a family
yeah.
to nurture between you and Dale. So I just
Mm.
sorry, I couldn't keep my mouth shut on that one.
No, that was interesting. Like, yeah, because and that has popped up into my mind, that old version of myself, a few times. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, and this is a really good point to make. Like you say, sometimes the expectations that we put on ourselves are from an old self
Mm,
or an old way of doing things, when actually things have changed so much. Like, that we're not going to go back to this person, but we can bring a few of those traits forward. So what
mm,
is it in that I miss? The creativity, I suppose, to do something with the girls. And maybe that's what I feel like is lacking right now. But
mm,
there's nothing to say that I can't have a little sit with myself on a Sunday and think of a few things to do in the week,
mm,
or just put my phone in a drawer and do something with
mm,
them. And the only person stopping me doing that is me, because
mm,
I'm busying myself with things that really could actually wait.
mm. So this is getting really hot on your time, isn't it? And
Mm.
it's the back then you were so abundant in time than like the world was, because we had to go to a standstill.
Yeah.
So you were abundant in time, so you could spend and dedicate that time with them. Now it's a completely different scenario. If you think of us as working women, and like we've got to be like really kind to ourselves in these situations, because we do want, you know, some women may not want to run the businesses, and there's no right or wrong here, right? There's no
No.
right or wrong. We all have our own journeys, we all have our own paths, and some women that I know are out the house at 7 a.m. in the morning and may not be back till 7 p.m. And there's so much in terms of time with or without the kids that they don't have. But is it really a quantity thing, or can we really hone in here on the quality of the time? Like, it's
Yeah.
making sure that the time that you do spend with the girls, it's going to naturally be less than it was when we were in COVID. Of
Yeah.
course it is, with all the other factors. But is it making that time that you do have really quality time? And what I mean by that, and this is a conversation we've had this morning on our call together, was that,
Yeah.
you know, we are in different modes, aren't we? There'll be a TAGC mode, there'll be a
Mm.
mum mode, there'll be a
Hmm.
wife mode, friend mode, me mode, you know, time to look after me as well. And it's just making sure that we have those strong boundaries in place. Like you said, if it's time with the kids, the phone goes in the drawer. You're in
Yeah.
an agreement that you don't do anything to do with work, you know, unless
Mm.
you know, within
But
those times.
even
So,
the world's not going to stop in an hour, is it?
No.
And do you know what? I stopped myself even last night because there was something that I wanted to do on my phone. And we said to the girls, like, we'll sit and watch a film. It was getting quite late. So we are like, we'll do half the film
Mm-hmm.
and then go. And, you know, when you're like, it would be so easy to just grab my phone and do that whilst the film was on. But I actually
Yeah.
did stop myself. And I was really glad that I did, because I just sat and I enjoyed the film and I sat and cuddled them. And that was different to being there but not being there.
Take note of that, first of all,
Yeah.
because that's something to celebrate. And what have you done there? Like, what have you chosen? You've chosen to be present.
Yeah.
That's the choice there, because I totally get that. It's an opportunity on the sofa when the kids are watching a film. We're having a family film,
Yeah.
but it's not a family film because I'm doing stuff on my phone.
Yeah.
But the choice to put that down and be present and be in that moment is going to give you those feelings,
Yeah.
rather than the waiting until.
And this is the whole, going back to having the vision of like, what do I see in my future? Like, I see that more abundance of time where I can sit and watch a film. But I had that option last night. And could I have put that phone down for that hour? Absolutely. And I think when we just start to, like you say, reverse engineer those things that we want in the future, but what are those things going to bring us in terms of a feeling? Because it isn't the things, it is the feeling that we're after. If we want, like when I think of wanting more money, what is more money going to bring me? It's going to bring me more time. And what is more time going to bring me? More time with the girls, more time, and or freedom, just all those different things. Yeah. But I can create that in my now. It might not look to the extent of what I would like it to look in the future, but when we start to reverse engineer it and feel it now, that is how we flow through life, rather than force, push, and get to there. Because, well, we might get there, people, there's, well, actually, I'll share this because I think this is brilliant, but good old Tony Robbins. There's two different ways of obviously going through the journey. One is we stress and stress and stress and stress and stress, and we break through. But when you do that, you don't feel as good at the top because you're exhausted. You're really, really exhausted. But almost the path of someone who's more of a master and masters their way through it, like you're feeling those feelings now, you're mastering it as you go, so that when you get there, feels amazing. It feels how you want it to feel. Like you're aware, you get it, like you're in that kind of self-understanding, that self-love place, so that when that thing comes, you feel worthy of it, you feel good. And you've kind of gone on this journey of mastering yourself as you get to where you want to go, rather than stress, breakthrough, and don't even enjoy it when you get there. Or you might, not get there and then go and do something else. And, then we know that cycle, don't we? That we know that we get shiny object syndrome sometimes, and we'll go to the next thing and the next. And it's like, whoa.
It's really about enjoying the journey, isn't it? And we both know, we've both experienced, when we really press our foot down in the wrong direction and force, we aren't going anywhere.
No.
So I think the message is create that compelling vision, so you can have that energy, that passion, that excitement. You've got something to work towards. As human beings, we need growth. And that's what that's tapping into, and seeing it's possible. You're working on your self-belief and your confidence in creating this vision, and go after it and go make it happen and take the action. But bloody make sure you enjoy every single step along the way. Yes, even the hard times, it's going to be hard, it's going to be challenging, but it's not just, don't put everything on hold until you've got to this place. Don't put the happiness or the waiting until to enjoy it. Enjoy the journey, isn't it? It's like driving to a destination, and there's so much beautiful nature and scenery around you, but just not taking a minute to appreciate it. And then you get there and you're like, is that it?
Yeah.
Because you've missed the beauty along the way. Like the journey is the life.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's not, there's no end goal.
No.
There isn't. It's enjoying the experience, the life experience that we get every single day.
Every moment.
Yeah. There is something that I just wanted to touch on, was just this kind of to enjoy the journey, and kind of just, when life, like, so I'll be honest with you guys, I feel pretty battered by life, and I keep saying that term. I'm like, I feel like it's just, yeah, it's been one
Mm,
thing after the other, and it takes its toll. And then, and so many people will probably feel like this right now. I think even like coming out of lockdown and like getting our lives back, like even that, like, as it's still like was a big thing for us all to go through, isn't it? But in terms of like the emotions, because I practice this so regularly, I think, like you say, getting back to better quicker, like that surfing, like I've just got a little bit more. Yes, I still get knocked off. We always will.
mm,
But I'm kind of get to that point where I see just an inkling of like that board again. And I
mm,
see that inkling of a choice.
mm,
And for me, that came last night when I was thinking of logging on to our morning call this
mm.
morning.
Yeah.
And that morning call is basically, guys, where we master our mindsets together for the week. Like, we come together, we kind of reflect on the past week, pull out the good things, pull out
Mm,
the things that we've noticed. Then we step into looking at the week ahead and really just getting intentional with it, seeing those choices that are there, having a little look at how we want our life to be, what we want to carry forward that worked from last week, what we want to leave in last week that maybe wasn't working
mm.
so well. Pushy Charlotte can just stay there for a little bit. Um, and then obviously we then do a little bit of the action, so thinking about what are those steps forward that we want to make this week, and really just creating that thought that was really really going to support us in that journey. um so for me, I had a bit of a moment last night where I was like, obviously I had this idea years ago to create the Authentic Girls Club, a community for women to come together and grow. And I don't know what the right word for it is, but I just had a moment where I was just like, I need that.
Mhm,
And I created it from a need of myself, because I wanted that in the world. And I needed that call this morning. I needed that process. I
mm,
needed to get my mindset back where I wanted it to. I needed to get back and grab that surfboard back and just step
mm,
on and see how that feels. And I needed to be surrounded by the women on this journey as well. And to be in that space of us all sat in our pajamas, drinking our coffees, but making these really beautiful choices together, and really just starting to understand ourselves, understand our mind, nurture it instead of knock it away all the time. Like, we go to the gym to build our body, right? What do we do for our mind every day? Often we just ignore our feelings. We ignore what we want. We ignore our dreams. We batter ourselves for one small step out of line. And that inner critic can be so mean.
mm.
But we will always have these two voices, this one that encourages us and supports us and knows who we truly are. But then we have this other one that has possibly got quite loud. And I sure know mine a few years ago was very loud. And she doubts us, and she's not that truthful, because it's based on stories and beliefs and different things we picked up on over time. And she can be really quite mean.
Mm.
And it's our choice, when we're ready to see that choice, of which one we're willing to strengthen, which one we're willing to give the airtime to. And the one that we give that airtime to is the one that is going to rise up. And we all know, everyone listening to this, which one is going to take us forward, which one has our answers, which one has our future that we want to live. But we've got to take the time to give her time, that
Yeah.
airtime.
Give her the airtime.
And
Absolutely.
that Monday morning call was needed for that, because when the emotions got high this weekend, oh, she came rising up, the inner critic came rising up, and everything. Like, you asked me a question of like what's going well. I can't remember what you asked me what's going well like right now, and I couldn't see it because she'd come up, and in those emotions I struggle to see. So it does take work to see, but there is a lot that I could have seen. I hope I'm kind of explaining this well right now.
You are, and that's a choice in itself, isn't it? And that comes through the awareness and the work that we do and the practice that we do in the membership. And honestly, just listening to you then, it's just such a great like summary of all that we do, and giving the more encouraging voice airtime is so important. I just love our Monday morning calls.
Yeah.
I love them, like you've expressed. Of course we're there for our members, of course that's why we're doing it, but blowing hell, we're there for ourselves too, because we do that. We go through that weekly practice. I'm not just scribbling or doodling on my page, I'm doing the work. And 10, 12, 15, whatever years I'm into my self-development journey, because it is a lifelong journey, I have no intention of stopping. I'm not just going to be done.
No, we said this, didn't we? That even like the long-term vision of TAGC, we are never not going to show up and do that call, because it is so needed. Like, to wake up before the majority of everybody else has got out of bed, and to have got your mind in check, ready for the week ahead, to have nurtured yourself, to have got clear on where you're going, what you want. Oh my goodness, it is the most game-changing process, and it is not going anywhere. And we are so excited because we have also just opened it up to non-members as well. So obviously you're listening to this podcast, whether it's the first time, whether you've been listening to us for a little while, we kind of identified that maybe not everyone wants to join a membership right now. Maybe that feels like quite a lot. But this call is the biggest game-changing call, like, because it is how you set yourself up for the week. It is first thing in the morning. It is turning non-morning people into morning people, by the way. If you're not a morning person, Kat wasn't a morning person. I wasn't as much as I am now. And it really is just getting that change, isn't it? But it is there for you guys. So we'll drop the link in the show notes. You can join us on whatever Monday you want to. And it is £12 to join us in that call. And we would just love to have you there and come and just see what it's about. Come and be in that community and experience that community. And like I say, we have PJs on. We're not looking. I'm definitely not looking like this at 6:15 a.m.
We're looking like it's 6:15, although I actually do still look like it's 6:15 a.m. because I got back from Tenerife early hours this morning, so do excuse these, but I do look like but yeah, it's 6:15 in the morning, and that's how we look. We look like it's 6:15 in the morning because we're there to do the work. We're not there to look at our faces. And it's just, we're not in it for that. But yeah, like Charlotte said, it is the place to be on a Monday morning. It is the place to master your mindset, to get yourself in the right space for the week ahead, and a community of women coming together to grow. It is a community of practice, and I love how you've used that idea of if you want to get your body in shape, you go and join a membership, you go and join a club, a sports club, you do the work, and you keep at it, and you keep practicing. Our brains, our minds are the same. We're muscles, and we just need to keep doing it as a practice. We really do. And it's like, it does make you think, well, what am I doing? Yes, I'm looking after my physical health, but what am I doing to look after my mental health? Because we all have mental health, and it's in this space, in this practice, in this membership. This is where we master the mind, and this is where we really just kind of do that inner work. So we know who we are, we know what we want, we go after it. And we become that everything that we need for ourselves. So let's drop the details in the show notes, because I cannot wait to see you guys on this Monday call. We'll convert you. You will be a morning person. You will see results after just one call. You absolutely will. Absolutely. And can't wait to see you there.
Definitely. Come and try it out, guys. And also, we're here if you have any questions, always. And obviously the membership is there for you as well, which does, it's a fully immersive, get in that community and do all the wonderful things, have the hub and all the other supportive things. So, but we are here, and we believe in you. And no matter whether life is a breeze right now, or whether it is a little bit more challenging. Just our message today is feel what you need to feel, give yourself what you need, and just give yourself time to get through it. Time, gosh, time's a topic for a whole other day, but give yourself what you need, and just be really, really proud of that.
Amazing.
Okay. Sending lots of love, guys. Speak to you very soon. Bye.
Bye.